Hi, my name is Kutzer, and I'm going to talk about how to pick a fly rod. And when you're picking a fly rod, there's a couple things you want to consider. The first thing you want to consider is the type of fish you're going after. The bigger the fish, typically the heavier the size rod you want to use. And rods kind of vary in weights from 1 weight up to 14 weight. If you're going to catch, smaller fish, maybe little trout up in the mountains or panfish, maybe a 1, 2, 3 weight is a fun choice rod to use. If you're going to be catching bigger trout, maybe you want a 5 weight or a 6 weight, even a 7 or an 8 weight for trout. Now you'd want to get those different size rods if you're going to cast different size flies. So a large fly is very wind resistant when you're casting. When you're trying to make that cast and turn that fly over, that big fly is going to catch a lot of air and it's going to slow down. So you need a heavier weight rod because the line that matches with that rod is going to be a little bit heavier. It's going to have some more mass and it'll turn over that fly a little bit easier. A smaller, less wind resistant fly is going to be much easier to cast. You can use a lighter weight rod to cast those flies. The last thing you want to consider is how long your fly rod is. The longer the fly rod is, the easier it might be to mend, the easier it might be to make a roll cast, pick up some line, make a longer cast. But the downside is it can be kind of cumbersome. If you're in tight cover, you got a lot of trees around, it's a very small stream, that rod might be a little bit tricky to use. So you'd want a shorter rod in that situation. Shorter rods tend to be a little bit more accurate and they're very maneuverable. You can get them in lots of different situations, make a cast down low underneath some trees or bushes, but they don't necessarily roll cast as well and they don't necessarily mend as well. So you want to think about your environment, think about the size flies you want to cast, and then think about the size fish you're going to catch, and that's going to help you decide whether you want a freshwater rod, a saltwater rod. Even though we call them that, you could still use a saltwater rod in freshwater, but a different weight rod. So think about those, the environment, the size fly, and the size fish, and that'll help you decide which rod to get. If you need a little more help picking out that first fly rod, stop by one of our Orvis stores or one of our dealers and check out the new Recon Rod series. If you check out that new Recon, you're going to be entered into a chance to win the new limited edition CFO reel or lots of other cool prizes. Or if you don't have a dealer or a store nearby, you can call our tech center at 1-800-548-9548.